It was like, there's no way I'm putting a tub out for that much money. We've tried every flavor, brand, and y'all's Riomax guy come to me and, I reacted like everybody else. Oh my gosh, there ain't no way I'm doing this. Well, he was super nice to me, and I said, I'll tell you what, I'll try them. So what we did, we put 2 groups of cows on the Riomax. We left everything else on the other stuff. Jan helps me all the time, and we was weaning calves that fall, and she said, what are you feeding these cows and calves? I said, I feed them the same. They're on the Riomax tubs. And she goes, you need to put the rest of them on it because these are the best looking cows and calves we got.
And things hadn't changed. I mean, the grass hadn't changed and we hadn't fed any different. And there was a big difference in them. And then when you looked at our other cattle, there was an even bigger difference. We thought it wasn't gonna be this good, honestly.
The next spring, when our groups of cows calved, them 2 that were on the Riomax had a lot more calves on the ground than the rest per group, probably 20% more.
Your calves hit the ground with a better start, not having to doctor them and give them as much to get them going, and mom's in better shape, and so it's a win-win for both.
We eventually went to Riomax on all of them. We cut back to like 2 days a week feeding instead of 3 or 4. The cows didn't change on condition. My pocketbook got better because we wasn't burning the roads, taking all day. Your time is a huge deal in this business. We're a 2-man operation here. We feed about 2 tons of cubes a day, which is roughly $800 a day if we feed. If we cut 2 days a week out, that's $1,600. We feed 6 months a year probably. And just the wear and tear on a $100,000 pickup. I don't know how you put a value on that. Gas, oil changes. I think it's a huge savings on the whole operation.
We haven't had to feed as much hay. And with the drought situation, we haven't had as much hay. So that has been a tremendous thing for us to not have to have that much hay to feed.
Well, the guy that we was getting them from, he was using Riomax first, and he switched. So that was one of the factors that we switched, availability. Probably the biggest reason we switched was price. This business, it's about any business, it's about dollars. But you have to see results. I didn't see the results of the other product. That doesn't mean anybody else will, won't, or whatever. We're just speaking from what we seen on our own operations. You instantly almost have a gut feeling that these ain't working as good. It's a pretty good testament to Riomax that we used them, went somewhere else, and we've come back. You can waste money buying cheap stuff and that don't work. But we have come back to them. We 100% Riomax on tubs.
They may be a little pricey, you may feel, or something, but the end result is it works, and you're not having to buy as much feed or feed as much hay. The proof is in the pudding.
She is the penny pincher.
I'm the penny pincher. You can't be one of those people that's so penny pinching conscious when it's the whole picture you have to look at. Look at your cow herd. Look at the end, what it's gonna bring back to you.
If something's working, you might as well leave it alone and stay with it. So we come back to the Riomax tubs. Anybody that's willing to try to help the rural America, that's a big deal to, I think, farmers and ranchers.
For y'all to be as caring and want to make it good for us and actually care about for it to be good for us and our cattle, that is a tremendous thing. You don't find people like you anymore that care.
I've never met the owner of very many feed companies till today. I've never had the owner of that business come sit here in our barn and talk to us. That's a huge deal.
Just gonna salute to agriculture.
There you go.
I think the main thing I would suggest to somebody if they're curious, try them. You know, put one group on them, but keep up with the results.